Russian troops near the Ukrainian border is raising concerns in the United States and in Europe. We take a look at what Secretary of State Antony Blinken said earlier this week. Listen.
We don't have clarity into Moscow's intentions, but we do know its playbook. And our concern is that Russia may make the serious mistake of attempting to rehash what it undertook back in 2014.
Joining us now from Germany is retired Lieutenant General Ben Hodges, former Commanding General of the United States Army in Europe. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us today.
Thanks for the privilege, Jackie.
So, Secretary Blinken's not parsing words there. Expressing concern that Russia might try to rehash the 2014 Ukraine invasion is really significant. But looking at the pictures of the Russian troops amassed on the border, they set up field hospitals back in April. There's recently been this sharp increase in tanks, armored vehicles, artillery, and sophisticated teams coming in. So what does that tell you about just how soon they might take some action?
Well, look, this is a serious situation, and what we're seeing is actually not something new. It's a continuation of what started back in April. They never really went back to their barracks, even though Minister of Defense Shoigu said they were. And so this is just a continuation, almost the next phase. Now, this doesn't mean it's inevitable, but everything is in place if they were to decide to do something.
But what does the level of what they have there tell you about how quickly something could happen?
Well, that's a key point. The ability for them to move quickly is there, and they've got a lot of capability that's up close. Of course, our alliance also is well equipped and well trained. In the United States Army and Europe and other forces that are there, people are paying attention. We're being level-headed, doing professional things, but we're paying attention. And of course, the Russian way of war, the first thing that happens, if something happens, may not be tanks, but it'll be a cyber strike or maybe turning off the gas or something to create more disruption inside Europe.
So the Secretary of Defense went to Ukraine last month, did not pledge additional support. Some House Republicans are calling for the president to consider an appropriate U.S. military presence and posture in the region. In your opinion, does the U.S. need to send troops, intelligence resources, weapons? What should be happening right now?
Well, look, Ukraine is an important friend for the United States, but the most important thing that we can do is, number one, make sure that our alliance is ready, that we have got the strongest possible relationship with our NATO allies. We have to develop a strategy for the Black Sea region. Ukraine is not an island. It's important because of where it sits on the map. And we need to work very hard at normalizing the relationship we have with Ukraine. Ukraine stopped Russian troops the last several years. But we need to remove all doubt that they can count on us as Russia continues to build pressure here.
Real quickly, just with respect to how this looks to China. China has a greater claim in some way to Taiwan than Russia would have to Ukraine, given the treaty that they have there, the Budapest Agreement guaranteeing Ukrainian sovereignty. There's no such treaty for Taiwan, for China not to invade Taiwan. So if Russia takes some action here without intervention by the U.S., is there a concern that China could turn around and take Taiwan, run with it?
Well, that's an important point. Of course, I want to clarify, Russia has zero claim to anything of Ukraine. Ukraine is a sovereign country, and Russia has violated Ukrainian sovereignty time and again and continues to do so. But your point is a good one, that the Chinese are watching how does the West react, how unified are we in our actions in the diplomatic and economic domain as well as in the military domain. And of course, the nightmare scenario for me and many others would be that if we got into a conflict in Europe, that the Chinese Communist Party might take advantage of that, and vice versa. If we got into a conflict with the Chinese, the Kremlin might take advantage.
Thank you, sir. We're running out of time. Appreciate you being with us.